Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back from your sumptuous lunch. So, my name is Clive Behrman. I'm the Director of Product Marketing for Informatica Cloud, and welcome to today's session, Dump Data Loader and how to work with duplicates and tips for integration. Later on, I've got some very exciting speakers. We've got Amy Anthony from Sangren and Rashid Chowdhury from Crawford. I won't steal their thunder, but just first, let me set the scene, right? So this is probably many of your situation. You know, you've got Sales Cloud, maybe you have Service Cloud, or Marketing, or if you don't have Marketing Cloud, perhaps you have Attica. Maybe you've got some Community Cloud too. You're doing analytics with maybe Wave or some other analytics tools. Or in fact, you're running your own apps or even the vertical apps that Salesforce have, things like Financial Service Cloud. So Salesforce is definitely the center of your business, capturing all of your data. But of course, more clouds and more integrations and more users and more data mean more problems. So, you know, when we have and in fact, most of us follow the same technique, right? We start off with maybe a singular cloud where we get by using data loader to kind of load maybe flat files or something like that. Then we get to maybe we acquire a company, so we end up with two sales clouds. Perhaps if you're a multinational or something like that, you end up with a European cloud and a US cloud, and you'd like to share the data between them. Then, of course, there's other business units that have things that are maybe on-premise, maybe there's some legacy data sources somewhere that you'd like to integrate into those systems too. And finally, you know, as we've already mentioned, maybe I'm going to get some more of those systems like Marketo or Zora or Siebel and Oracle, and in different languages too. So, I mean, that can get quite complex. And we don't really see those things every day. We see kind of the side effects, right? So from the State of Salesforce survey, we know that, you know, 54% of folks like yourselves struggle with integrating two or more Salesforce clouds. It's important that maybe we can't get a customer view, and there's a significant proportion of folks that struggle with getting a customer view. Along with that comes how good is the data quality itself. You know, maybe we're not quite sure, but 40% are not really confident in the quality of data across their systems. Many, as we've already talked about, use analytics tools that are outside of Salesforce. And, you know, we're not just on about production systems, but we're also on about the development sandboxes or development systems that we use too. So we've got, you know, production orgs and Salesforce orgs all need or will all get side effects of their expanding data use. You know, and I'm going to quickly go through this. What does it mean? You know, data's out of sync. That means we can't get a good picture. Bad data means we pollute reports. Maybe the accuracy of reporting is also very low, or maybe it takes a long time to get reports, and I know Amy's going to talk about that too. So Informatica, you know, can help you as you struggle with those growing volumes of data from all of those data systems, kind of tame all of that data to, through three things, right? The tools, the people and experience that we have. And of course, the ultimate aim is to return a better ROI on the Salesforce that you use today. So with that in mind, I just wanted to, you know, sort of give you a stat about Informatica as a company. So we've got 4,500 cloud customers. We've got, you know, more than 1 million jobs. So we're running more than 1 million integrations a day, integration processes. And that's about 450 billion integration transactions with Salesforce every month. We have those Salesforce you know, applications and services that will help you with your data integration. And not just Salesforce, but across all of the major cloud ecosystems that are out there. So Salesforce, you're working with Amazon, you're working with Azure, maybe you're doing stuff with Tableau, Workday, and NetSuite. So I just wanted to, before I don't want to tell you too much about how to solve your Dupe problems. I'd rather leave that to the experts that have put it into practice. So they've got some great customer case studies. But before I kind of hand over, I just wanted to say, if you're a smaller company, we've got a new offering for smaller to mid-sized companies. And come and see us at our booth 1711 in the Cloud Expo. Oh, there we are, 1711 in the Cloud Expo. We've got stuff in the developer zone and on our microsite too. But as I said, there's certain things that you can't really do just using data loader alone. So dump that data loader, come to a third-party integration tool. Amy's going to talk about how she's using Informatica to integrate all of those systems, especially as it relates to cleansing data and getting data in and out of Salesforce. And Rashad is going to talk about claims management solutions that they're using that Crawford's using in their different business units. So with that, I'm going to hand it off to Amy, and she's going to talk to you about Salesforce integration.
Thank you, Clive. Good afternoon. My name is Amy Anthony. I'm the Director of Enterprise Data and System Operations at Sangren. And I just want to talk to you a little bit today about how we are using Informatica, specifically in how we have built out a data warehouse. A little bit about Sangren. We're a fairly young company. We started in 2009 with 3 engineers who actually were having trouble sending their emails through the application that they had developed. Their emails were not reaching the inbox destination. Out of frustration, our company was born. They built a reliable email delivery platform. Today, with our transactional and marketing emails, we send over 25 billion a month. And some of our customers include people that I'm sure you've heard of: Spotify, Uber, Airbnb. We actually send more emails a day than Twitter sends tweets. Just a little fun fact for you. And we like to say that we make sure the email that you want to get delivered actually does get delivered. So my team is responsible for the strategic direction, design, delivery, and availability of our business data for corporate utilization. About a year ago, our team was tasked with building a new data warehouse. We are a company that loves tools. We have as many tools as you can probably think of. We are a large Salesforce user. With that many tools, it means that you have a lot of data streams coming in. And one of the biggest problems that we faced is that we did not have a single source of truth for our data. We have multiple CRM systems. So one of the problems we had was data that might come from this place has different definitions than data that comes from this place. We have all of these different data inputs. How can we bring them all together and be able to have one reliable data collection that can also capture changes, history, things that the applications where the data come from might not be able to do? So with that in mind, my team, which is listed here, we are small but mighty, set out to build a data warehouse. So the first thing we did was an architectural assessment. I brought in a consulting firm and asked them to evaluate our database technology, our ETL tools. And for those of you that don't know what ETL means, it stands for extract, transform, and load. That is the common software development when you are sourcing data for a data warehouse, and to look at our BI reporting tools as well. The technical requirements that I had were pretty simple. We needed to be nimble. We needed to be able to move very fast. We needed to be cost effective. We needed a database technology that would meet our storage and capacity needs, especially when you're starting out. You need to be able to handle small, but prepare for growth so that you can have a large volume of data storage. We wanted a mature ETL tool to leverage for data warehousing, and we wanted our team to be self-sufficient so that we could stand up the data warehouse without reliance on other internal teams. We didn't have DBAs that could help support us. We didn't have an internal infrastructure team that could handle the production support, help us with the database technology. So we needed to be able to make it happen all on our own. When I first got to Sangren about a year ago, there was a data warehouse architecture that was already in play. The database was MySQL, and the architecture that was built did not follow a formal data warehouse methodology. So you can see from the picture here that we had a couple of sources. The data was brought into a staging area. It was raw, without business rules applied, but using source terminology, but it was not persistent. And then the second layer is what was called the production layer. It still only had minimal business rules applied. It was still structured like the source, using source terminology, but it was persistent. And then all of the heavy lifting was taking place in the BI tool. The emphasis for that architecture was on speed, not on accuracy, sustainability, and growth. And what we found was, even though this had only been stood up for 2 to 3 months, this architecture was already hitting the limitations of its design. And this was evident when people would go to run reports out of the BI tool. We were already hitting the ceiling for performance, for capacity, and it was a really poor user experience because it was taking so long. We also had already purchased Informatica Cloud, and we felt that the benefits of using Informatica Cloud included the Salesforce integration options that it had, that it could be used by a small team with limited technical knowledge, which we felt would help us for future growth. And it didn't require you to have true ETL knowledge, which we were hoping that our business analysts who weren't as technical would also be able to use the tool, not just our engineers. So we looked at our database technology options. We went through, did we want a standard database like Oracle, SQL Server, MySQL, which we already had. The pros were we were familiar with it. It would sit behind our firewall, which met security requirements. But we were already hitting capacity, and it would require DBA support, and the DBAs that we have at Sangren are busy running our business. They're not familiar with data warehouses. Then we looked at data warehouse appliances, Teradata, Netezza. Those are convenient. They have the hardware and the database in one. They're reliable. They're built specifically for data warehousing, and they cost a lot of money. And if you remember, one of my requirements was to be cost effective, so we did not pursue this option in great detail. Then we looked at DW cloud databases, like Amazon Redshift, Amazon Postgres, Google Cloud. We didn't have as much experience in our team with data warehouse cloud databases. They're a little newer to the space, but they're inexpensive, they're convenient, they're fast. But then some of the things we were concerned about was network latency. We didn't know what that would look like if we would run into issues. and we would have to face some security concerns because it wasn't behind our firewall. We then looked for Informatica, and what we would use, our requirements were pretty simple. We needed something convenient, easy to start up. We liked Informatica Cloud because it's a web-based platform like Salesforce. Non-technical resources can use it. That's a huge plus for us as we look to roll out self-service analytics, self-service data integration. And we also looked at Informatica's on-premise tool, PowerCenter. Our whole team had previous experience with this tool. If you are familiar with the data warehouse space, then you know that PowerCenter is the Cadillac for ETL development. And we like the fact that the maintenance update windows are within our discretion, and the versioning and migration capabilities, along with some of the other mature ETL technology and functionality, is really unsurpassed. So at the end of the assessment, here's what we decided our go-forward path needed to be. MySQL was not sustainable for us as a data warehouse, and so we chose Amazon Redshift. We felt that better aligned with the data warehouse infrastructure. And then when we looked at what we would use for our ETL tools, we landed on a hybrid approach to load our data using both Informatica Cloud and Informatica's on-premise tool. This approach allows us to load data quickly from multiple data sources, whether the data sources themselves are on cloud or on-prem as well. And then our BI tool, which is Looker, we decided that was sufficient for our analytics needs. At this point, we were making a lot of changes, and we decided not to mess with that one. So this is our architecture. This is what our data warehouse looks like. We have multiple data sources that we bring in. For our version 1, we brought in our MySQL database, which is internal, that houses our customer and product information, and Jira, 3 other MySQL databases, and Zora, which is our billing system. And this is just an example to show you that using Informatica with both tools within Redshift, we have scheduled data exports from each of our data sources. We load them using Informatica into our data warehouse. We have 3 layers of our data warehouse, and we transform the data as we go so that it lands in our publishing layer. Regardless of what data source, it's now been transformed to be true business data with terminology and definitions that the business understands, which is what then our analytics tool, Looker, uses. You can also see that in addition to Salesforce being a data source that we will import into the data warehouse, we use Informatica as a data integration mechanism to send data to Salesforce as well. And that data includes new and changed accounts, leads. With all of that, this is where we've landed. In 6 months, we built out the first version of our data warehouse with those data sources using a hybrid approach of Informatica tools. We have been able to create executive dashboards, some other dashboards, and we've started our first phase of rolling out self-service analytics, where we have power users that can create their own dashboards, and the entire company has access to the dashboards that our team creates. We are in the midst of rebuilding our data integration, where we provide data now from our data warehouse instead of the existing MySQL into Salesforce. And this quarter, we are adding 4 new data sources into our data warehouse as well. Thank you.
Good afternoon. A little bit about Crawford Company. One of the world's largest provider of claim management solution to insurance companies and self-insured entities with a global reach, servicing 70 different countries worldwide. We are listed in New York Stock Exchange as CRDA and CRDB. The Crawford solution offers a comprehensive integrated claim services, business process automation, and consulting services, focusing on property and casualty claim services, worker compensation and medical management, and legal settlement administration. Just last year, we celebrated our 75-year anniversary. So why we chose Salesforce platform? Because it allows us invest in innovation, not in typical and traditional IT infrastructure. Data security in trusted cloud, rapid application development, and customization. Extensibility, there is a vibrant market of pre-built apps. So what it means is, anytime there is any new business processes or automation that we need to accomplish, we could invoke or instantiate a pre-built app from the marketplace or app exchange. This is also a complete integrated CRM solution with global reach. So I wanted to give you a little bit of high-level overview of what's happening with Salesforce at Crawford Company. 70 to 80% of our customer data currently is in Salesforce.com. We have 2 distinct Salesforce org. We have a couple different Salesforce admin, and our team is expanding. We have strategic partners in place who is helping us providing strategic initiative projects, sales and marketing space, as well as support and maintenance. In 2 different org, we have about 300 plus users, and it's growing. Recently, we're launching a brand new project in Asia Pac, in Australia and New Zealand, to integrate more customer in Salesforce. 2 years ago, we did an overhaul of our Salesforce.com implementation at Crawford Company. And I'm going to talk about it a little bit about that project as well. So I just wanted to give you a high-level idea of what is that we are doing at Crawford Company. So we have 4 different segments. The international segment, US services, and Broadspire, backed by Salesforce.com, Sales Cloud, as well as Constant Contact, Excel spreadsheet, and traditional IT ERP in your back office support system. Garden City Group is also a Salesforce.com org that is in place to support their customer needs. So what happened? Why we're here? We're struggling with data. What we do with duplicate account in account object, searching is difficult and it's time consuming. The hierarchical view from finance team and the legal team doesn't match. Account maintenance in Salesforce org is very manual. There's no concept of account team is in place. Unified account ownership is another problem. Non-standardized and unverified data is big problem. Our marketing team recently complained that we sent marketing email to a dead person. So there is a cause and effect. The challenges that our business faces with poor data quality, higher compliance cost, higher cost of sales, impeding growth, any type of partnership growth program, any type of sales initiative, couldn't identify our strategic relationship managed account, top customers. Inefficient ETL processes also cause problem. Couldn't collaborate on cross-sell and upsell, high account executive labor costs. So we look for a solution. What we want to do, should we build or should we buy a solution that helps solve our problem? We thought about it, we pondered upon it, we did some analysis. After a couple months of extensive analysis, we decided on Informatica with Salesforce. One of the main things we wanted to introduce in the organization is the master data management. The Informatica's Cloud Customer 360 is one of the main key pieces that we wanted to launch within our org to provide a single version of customer truth. 100% native Force.com application for duplicate and hierarchy management. The Cloud Customer 360 is natively integrated within Salesforce.com. The integrated data cleansing, which I'm going to give, I couldn't do a demo, but I would be able to present you with some real life example of some of the solutions that we put in place. Integrated data cleansing and validation for account, contact, and lead. So for account side of the fence, we did mailing address verification as well as phone verification. For contact and lead, we did address validation and phone and email validation as well. So when I say validation, not only we did standardization, but validation, we enrich our existing record and data within Salesforce.com database. One of the key benefits I saw with Informatica Cloud Customer 360 implementation is that the quick time to value, 6 to 12 weeks, in no time, our solution is up and running. It helped manage application optimized for Salesforce.com, use cases out of the box, enable our quick ROI. So I don't have a really fancy architecture to present, but just Amy did. But this architecture talks about what are some of the application systems that we have in place. So we have Miller-Hyman is a sales methodology for our sales employees to follow a standardized set of sales process. Because we have so many segmented business, following a set of processes is important. Avvention is our system of record for account, contacts, leads, and any type of sales prospecting, marketing campaign, and things like that. It's almost like compare as like data.com. And then we have Informatica Cloud Customer 360, which include Dupe management, account and contact cleansing, hierarchy management, fuzzy match, and other matching algorithm in place. So Cloud Customer 360 does provide the master data management solution, but in the middle, we put in place Informatica Cloud Services, which is ICS. That brings a whole lot of automation, a lot of ETL processing in place that used to run by data loader. We see a great deal of problem with that, right? I mean, from standardization to create a set of processes and ETL tool and then schedule those jobs to run it in a regular basis is something that data loader didn't have. Informatica Cloud Service does. So that being said, I'm just going to go ahead and provide you a working example of new account creation process. So what we do, this is sort of like our account creation process algorithm. We log into Salesforce, click on Avvention tab, we search account. If you find it, you click Send to CRM, and accounts get created. If you can't find that account, then what happened? 80% time, we are able to find a company in Invention, which is a sales prospecting tool. But when we can't find it, then we wanted to provide a guided screen, which Informatica Cloud Customer 360 provided with Account Scout. So Account Scout is presented to our user, which help guide from the very get-go. Our users are creating contact, lead, or account from the beginning with standardized, enriched account data, and no duplicate ever get into the system from the beginning. So it's a prevention, not cure. So here is what it looks like, our org in production live instance from Crawford Company. So you log in, after login, look up account in Invention. In this case, we pulled an information about Burger King. So if you look closely, it provides all the same look and feel of Force.com platform. In addition, it also provides mailing address, city, state, zip, phone, fax, URL, some of the industry attributes like number of employee, corporate hierarchy, and things like that. And in one click, we can send this to account. So no user ever creating account from within the Salesforce screen. So couple click, account is getting created. What happens if we can find an account in Invention? Only admin, when I say admin, we created a set of profiles across all segments at Crawford Company. So business unit admin, only business unit admin has access to create a brand new account. When they're presented with this account screen, it provides a guidance. It provides a guided kind of approach. It's like a Google type look and feel and experience. And from the very beginning, Informatica type ahead suggests a list of fully qualified address. So user can pick from the list in the suggested address or keep trying entering brand new address. So in this example, what we have done, so we created an account and we type the mailing address and the zip code. And when we click on the question mark, in real time, it went and did a live transaction and check of this address, bring the results set back, and appended in the record itself, all happening in a millisecond time frame. And all of a sudden, your account, mailing address, all not only verified, standardized, and enhanced, but it enriched too. When I say enrich, what it means is for marketers, so for example, we wanted to know a little bit more about the route, a little bit more about what is the geolocation, what is the longitude and latitude information about this address. All of that additional attributes we receive from Informatica Cloud Customer 360 and bring that result set back and append it in the record itself within Salesforce.com. And when it's green, it means it's verified, checked, enhanced, and standardized. Every night, we run automated batch job within Salesforce.com provided by Informatica Cloud Customer 360. So we have 3 different jobs: account, lead, and contact. Anytime any brand new account, lead, or contact gets created in Salesforce.com, those jobs run in the background and enhance, and it's almost like a fill in the blanks. So if it's all lowercase, it's kind of make it all uppercase. US is not US, it's United States. And if someone types like America, the job come back and standardize it and change it to US and help our not only data accuracy, but the whole idea of providing a single version of truth of customer. If you already have an account within the Salesforce.com, and then you wanted to do a consolidation, and there are point systems also associated with the record that found within Salesforce.com. So for example, in this case, the score is 180. It's a pretty highly, it's a, not a duplicate accounts. So let's do consolidation. And Informatica provides that consolidation option. So all of a sudden, you're creating a master data management, a master record that could also help enrich and enhance your master data. So some of the comparison I wanted to talk real quick before Informatica: no automated data integration, inaccurate reporting, higher compliance costs, higher costs, a lot of duplicate accounts, contact and lead, no standardized data, no concept of master data management. After Informatica, we introduced something point of entry duplicate protection. So remember, we talked about it from the very get-go. We are going to prevent duplicate getting into our system versus curing it afterward. Fuzzy matching engine also help, side by side to record to find a match and remediate any duplicate found. Some of the benefit managing Salesforce data in not only help us increase our revenue, ensure customer success, as well as reduce business risk. From the account organization project that we have done early last year, it also helped us understand and realize the account team. We didn't have an account team concept. Everybody, so if I wanted to write or enter an opportunity in Salesforce.com, I'll create an account and append that opportunity. Let's say I have another account executive from another segment wanted to enter a brand new opportunity in Salesforce. He'll create another account, same duplicate account, and then append the opportunity. So all of a sudden, we are creating multiple accounts, duplicate accounts. So we introduced the account team, which is a custom solution we provided, including Informatica real time. The account team gets created automatically. It's not manually maintained. It's maintained by the job that we set up in the back end. So all account is created or maintained and owned by Crawford Company. We created a user called Crawford Company. That user owned the account. The account executive from each segment, based on the role it's performing, based on the role it's acting with the deal, they become part of the account team. And all of that are happening in real time, automatically. Some of the soft benefits, we listed: managing Salesforce data, reduce costs, and all that. We already talked about it. And so finally, I just wanted to make sure that we all so for us, what next, right? We did our Sales Cloud automation, we did our master data management, duplicate prevention, and Informatica Cloud Customer 360. So something, the front office and the back office integration, the CPN number, oftentimes I call it, when your account executive close an opportunity, from that point to your backend ERP application, the CPN, oftentimes the order to cash automation is next for us, for our company. Advanced hierarchy management and multi-dimensional visualization is something also we are considering to introduce at Crawford. That being said, I think I wanted to conclude my presentation. Thank you all.